I was looking through the smithy today, looking for a new bow and a new build to craft. And one bow in particular stuck out to me. And this bow stuck out to me for one particular reason. 250 raw attack. Not only that, it comes with 2 3 slots and a 1 slot, 2 points of ballistics, and a point of special ammo boost. This bow is the Griefbringer Urstox, or the Guardian Deshagama bow. When you look at the negative 15% affinity, it looks a little bad, but when you consider that we're bow, and that this build is going to hit max weakness exploit, you're not even going to notice it. In the spirit of having such high raw attack, this build, I wanted to max out my attack as much as possible. So I was going through the attack skills to try to do that. The first thought I had was Agitator. Agitator gives you raw attack and affinity when the monster is enraged. It's an amazing skill. But, on average, the monster is only going to be enraged about half the hunt. So it's not as consistent as I would like, and I feel like we can do better. Adrenaline Rush is a skill that I usually slot in when I have an extra 3 slot for an extra 10 damage. But at 5 points, it gives 30 raw. And with bow, you're constantly perfect evading, so that's always up. And on some perfect evades, if that attack would have knocked you back flying, you will proc Counter-Strike as well. And I don't know about you, but I'm really bad, so I get hit a lot. So Counter-Strike, more often than not, is also procced. That's a 55 raw damage boost to 250 raw damage bow, not counting crits, not counting any buffs. It's actually kind of insane. So I call this build the Warbringer. All about being in the heat of the battle, you get hit, you come back and hit harder, you're dodging, staying in their face, and just hitting them for massive damage. Alright, let's go through the build. For the helmet, we have the Zuwu Helm Beta. That helps us get our max Adrenaline Rush with 2 points. Comes with a 2 slot and a 1 slot. The Arc Vulcan Mail Beta has 1 point of weakness exploit, a 3 slot and a 2 slot. The gloves will come with 2 points of constitution. The Gore Coil Beta will come with a 3 slot and a 2 slot with 2 points of constitution. And the Gore Greaves Beta will come with a point of antivirus and a point of flinch free, and will give us a 3 slot and 2 1 slots. For the charm, we will take the counter attack charm for 2 more points of adrenaline rush. And for our equipment, we will take the evasion mantle. It synergizes very well with our build, and I'll explain a little bit more why it goes so well with what we're doing. So, we can go over the decos. For the bow, until something changes in the meta, most all weapons are going to take a critical boost 3 jewel if they can fit it. It's just that much damage. With the negative 15% affinity, you could take an expert jewel 3 here to mitigate most of it and only be negative 3%, but I really don't notice it, and the damage increase from the spread jewel 3 I do notice, so I really like having it in there. And critical jewel 1 because, you know, damage. In the helm, I have a counter jewel and a growth jewel. A growth jewel will give 12 points of attack after 30 minutes. So if you're grinding out a monster, you're practicing, you're playing for a long time, that's a decent little chunk of attack. In the chest, I'll have a tenderizer jewel and another counter jewel. In the gloves, I will have 3 physique jewels, which will then max out my constitution. In my coil, I have a tenderizer jewel, and I will finish out the counter attack or counter strike. And in the boots, I will finish out my adrenaline rush with the counter attack jewel and the 2 sane jewels to finish off antivirus. Now with everything together, we have 4 points of crit boost, 2 points of ballistics, 1 point of special ammo boost, 1 point of spread power shots, 5 points of adrenaline rush, weakness exploit, and constitution, 3 points of counter strike and antivirus, and a point each of flinch free and self-improvement. And this can actually reach absurd amounts of attack if you're able to do this correctly. So let's go ahead and we'll get Counter-Strike procced. Let's go ahead and perfect evade. 313 raw. That's kind of crazy, right? And then there goes self-improvement. Like, I don't know about you. The 313 raw is kind of insane. So this build, if you play it correctly, and you know how to stay in the thick of it and you get hit sometimes, you can push absurd numbers. This build's really good against arc build, especially if you want to play bow against him, because element does so poorly against him. So this is a really good substitute, or really to any monster. In this game, for some reason, Capcom did not want to give monsters good elemental hit zones, so as World does, it favors raw in this game as well. So this bow goes really hard. And as a bonus, I will give you the sneak peek into the fashion that I use to give me the Berserker Warbringer look. I do mostly the Arkveld armor, but I use the Uthaduna Windmail Alpha to give me that buff look to where I look like a barbarian with all the chains. So this is the red that I choose to try to make my hair match my bow. And this is the red that I use for everything else. And that, guys, is the Warbringer build. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys have any suggestions for more builds or any comments or any improvements you think I can make on my videos, just drop them down in the comments below, and appreciate you as always. Shawia.